and welcome our blood viewers to our today's news English edition. And as usual, we will bring to you the top and major highlights of tonight's news. The annual event that generates enthusiasm and motivation among the students, major school competitions of 2023. The start of voting for the presidential and legislative elections in Turkey in our international scene, our blood viewers. Those were the major and top highlights. Welcome back to our newsroom, our beloved viewers. Chaired by the Honorable Sharmanke Musa Are, the Committee on Finance, General Economy and Planning examined the financial accounts of the year 2020 of the National Social Security Fund, which is also known in short as CNSS. This meeting was attended by Mr. Umar Abdi Said, Minister of Labor in charge of formalization and social protection, accompanied by senior officials of the state public institution. At the end of the discussions on the structural and financial situation of the National Social Security Fund, the committee in charge of parliamentary control over public funds has transmitted the favorable opinion to the next public meeting. The finals of the Great School Competition, which is also known in short as GCS 2023 edition, took place this Saturday, May 13 at the High School of Djibouti in the presence of the Secretary General of MENFAB, accompanied by the Inspector General and the Directors General of Education and Administration. This national school competition, coordinated by the School Life Inspectorate in collaboration with all inspectorates and schools in the country, is organized annually by MENFAB since 2017. It creates competition between schools and creates a healthy emulation among students who seek to surpass themselves to showcase their skills and talents. It is also important to know that SCTs draw their substance from school curricula in order to reinforce learning in a fun and motivating way. These events call for the 21st century skills such as initiative, critical thinking, creativity, communication, cooperation, and they carry citizen, moral, civic, and universal values. The 23 finals of the school year took place in the presence of school heads, teachers, and parents who came to support their students and children. The finalists compared in various disciplines and activities such as mathematics, science, chess, ICT, economic news, drama, philosophy, awareness raising sketches, questions for young champions, languages through the detection, written productions, and poem declamation. These innovative projects and scientific inventions that the students presented are completely in line with the problems of the century and adapted to our environmental and socio-economic context. Ecological sites, devices, and equipment designed from recycled materials and powered by green energy. Renewable energy such as solar energy, wind energy, but also hydraulic energy recognized as being the most ecological. The juries and the MENFOP officials were impressed and admired so much ingenuity and creativity. The Ministry of Digital Economy and Innovation, in partnership with the World Bank, accompanied by Doolittle Consulting Tunisia, as part of the project to develop the National Digital Innovation Strategy of Djibouti, organized a strategic workshop on May 14th, 2023, at the Center for Leadership and Entrepreneurship, also known in short as CLE, the project DIS, funded by the World Bank and carried by the Ministry of Digital Economy, is part of the Djibouti 2035 vision and aims to support digitization and innovation in the country, including strengthening the competitiveness and growth of the private sector through innovation and technology adoption. The activities carried out under this mission were a diagnosis of the digital maturity of the country under several axes was developed and findings supporting and enhancing the strengths and opportunities for digital development of the country were deduced An exchange with the country's authorities and key players was conducted to feed the elements collected during the diagnosis and engage Djibouti companies and organizations in the development of the vision and strategic objectives of the national strategy. This nationwide event brought together government officials and representatives as well as key players from the private sector and civil society and experts and professionals from various sectors to exchange innovative ideas, share knowledge, and collaborate on concrete solutions to promote digital development. Mohammed Ashabani, the prefect of Tajurra, Mr. Hassan Dabali Mohammed, the prefect of Obokh, Mr. Abdul Malik Mohammed Bonoita, the head of the regional office of Tajurra, Mr. Umar Hussein Hassan, the Sultan of Tajurra, Mr. Ali Habib, and a number of other officials, permanent military and civilian personalities in Djibouti and Tajurra. A large number of the teachers and parents were all present at the King's Abdulaziz Islamic Center of Tajurra, organized yesterday, Saturday, at the Hotel Gadili meeting, a conference room, a great ceremony on the occasion of the end of school activities and the sixth graduating class of students of the future pioneers for the Islamic academic year of 1444. The ceremony opened with a verse from the Holy Quran, followed by the Saudi and Djibouti national anthems. The ceremony including many artistic and rhetorical paragraphs and presentations that reflected the state of excellence, creativity, and quality of results of which King Abdulaziz Center of Tajurra was known during the stages of its life, estimated by a generation of gifts, achievements, and continuous work. In a speech delivered on this occasion, the deputy of the Saudi Arabian Embassy in Djibouti, Mr. Abdul Hadi Al Qutaybi, congratulated the senior students who have completed their secondary education, stressing at the same time the tireless efforts they have made over the past years. As we shift towards Ali Sibih now, the great stadium in the city hosted Friday the finals of the Championship of Athletics, organized by the Djibouti Federation of Athletics in collaboration with the Secretariat of State for Sports. Competitors of all series of the sport from the Sport Study Center of Ali Sibih and several clubs of the capital completed for a place on the podium specially arranged for the occasion. The victories continue to make Djibouti shared throughout the world. In addition to the finalists of the different series in the cloud of young supporters, the event saw the presence of the president of the Regional Council of Ali Sibih, Sharmanki Hassan Alale, the president of the Djibouti Athletics Federation, Saeed Ismail Noor, and his staff, the Director General of AMPS, Mr. Muhammad Umar Ali, the Regional Deputy Director of Sport, Mr. Ahmed Musa Ubsiye. At the end of the various events in the finals program of the Athletics Championship, the winners were awarded medals. They were also received a check from the respective hands of the different officials present on the field. We go from Ali Sibih to Dikhil now, where after a large operations of controls carried out in the region of Dikhil by the Army Riyadh Internal Regiment of Dikhil in order to the fight against the contraband, in particular in the sector Mulud, 30 kilometers, pardon me, of Dikhil. It was in the morning of May 11, 2023, that the elements of the Dikhil Riyadh Army under the command of the Colonel of the Riyadh Army and the Chief of the Dikhil Customs Brigade, Mr. Musa Umar Musa, this last ones intercepted 16 qats kilos of 50 kilos each one, that is to say 1,000 kilos of qats coming from Ethiopia through the Mulud drilling transported by runners on men's back. Recalling that these operations were carried out under the authority of the responsible of the Customs Brigade of Dikhil, Mr. Musa Umar Musa, and of the Colonel of the Army Riyadh of Dikhil, the seized quantity of qat was immediately put to fire and destroyed as usual, done by the Diwan. Shifting gears towards the international scene now, millions of voters have begun to cast their ballots throughout Turkey in the presidential and parliamentary elections, which began at 8 a.m. local time on Sunday. In total, more than 64.1 million people are registered to vote, including more than 1.7 million who have already voted abroad. 4.9 million Turkish citizens are voting for the first time. Each voter will cast two ballots, one for the president and one for the parliamentarians, each of whom will serve a 5-year term. Well, buddies, our blood viewers, we finally conclude this edition. Thank you for being with us and make sure to tune in later for more. Have a wonderful evening and thank you once again for joining us.